Podcast. It's your host, Devo. Welcome back to the Healing Version Podcast. It's your host, Devo. Welcome back to the Healing Version Podcast. It's Devo on the mic. Yeah, but for real, thank y'all so much for coming back this week. Hey, yo, I missed y'all. Did y'all miss me? I missed y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming back this week. We finna get into this conversation. But of course, first I gotta tell y'all what's been going on in my life. So stay tuned. Hey y'all. So nah, for real, did y'all miss me? Cause I haven't recorded in 2 weeks. And look, I thought I thought y'all was gonna get an episode like 2 weeks ago. I knew last week I was gonna be in the middle of the ocean. I didn't really think I was going to do an episode. The plan was to do one before I left, but it didn't happen that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been like a lot. So, a little bit about what's been going on in my life, or a lot about it. I actually had to write a list down because I didn't want to miss anything that I wanted to share with y'all. So, yeah. So as you guys know, the kids and I went out of town. We went on a family vacation. So we actually took a cruise. We visited Nassau. We visited Half Moon Cay, and we went to Turks and Caicos. All very beautiful. I'm a nature girl. Y'all should know that by now. Like, I love all things nature: the ocean, the sand, the palm trees, just the sky. Oh my God, I have so many beautiful pictures of the sky. I'm gonna do a whole collage that I'm gonna share on my social media of the sky. I've already started working on it. Like, it's just beautiful. But yeah, that was a really good time, family time. We all got to spend time with each other and just unwind and get away from the city. I feel like that's so important to be able to do, and just get away from the norms of like your regular life. It's to tap into something different, different environment, different surroundings, different food, different people. So I'm very happy that we were able to do that. Then quickly we have to get back home and get back to reality, and by reality I mean school. So school has started back here in the Midwest, for the children and for me. And y'all, I missed the first week of school because I was on a cruise ship. So I am catching up on homework. I pretty much caught up on everything. It's just some little things that's lingering along that I'm finishing up on. I did not like being behind, staying up late trying to do homework and stuff. I ain't about to be doing it. I'm about to pick a day to do homework, and that's what we gonna do. Get us a routine down, because baby, staying up late is just not, I'm not gonna be doing. But anyway, so yeah, so the kids have started school. Sounds good so far. Everybody's like in their classes, and the teachers, and everything that's going on. So what else has been going on? My goodness. Oh, y'all, I got the twins' cell phones. So if the twins call you or send you a text message, I do apologize. I probably gave them your number, but yes, they have cell phones. It is freaking hilarious because they know how to do the voice to text. So they be sending text messages, and yeah. What else has been going on? Oh yeah, I told you guys I was moving my office and everything from upstairs down to the basement, and that is where I actually am now. Recording is in the basement. So I'm actually setting up my podcast area to be able to start going visual, and doing videos. You'll still be able to hear the audio, but I really, really want to do visual and actually be seen. So that will be coming soon. I'm super duper excited about that. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, that's all that's pretty much been going on. Nothing major. I am looking forward to this 3-day weekend that's coming up, because Labor Day is on Monday. So no school, no work on Monday. I plan to get all my chores and cleaning and stuff done this weekend and just relax and watch movies on Monday. Probably do a little homework, since that is part of life now. Um, but yeah, so I hope that you guys have been having an amazing weeks, months, hours, minutes, seconds. I hope that everything that you desire in life has been coming to you, all good things. And to anybody that's here and this your first time coming and listening to my podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna get into this conversation. As you can see, the title. I'm gonna be talking about the black sheep of the family. Um, I've always felt that I was different. I've always felt that there was something about me that I didn't share with the other members of my family. And it wasn't until like recent, probably in the last few years, I realized that I am the black sheep within my family. Um, and I just want to say that anybody out there that like maybe thinks of a negative light or think of being the black sheep as a negative thing, it's truly not. It's just you're different. You're different than the other people within your family group or maybe some other type of group that you are close with, but it's perfectly fine to be different. Um, you should always be doing what makes you happy. And if that makes you different, then so be it. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into this episode about being the black sheep. And I hope that something I says can help somebody or is relatable to somebody. If it's just one person, that is the goal. So, yeah, let's just step into this episode. Thank you again for being here, and I appreciate y'all so, 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 so much. The phrase black sheep refers to someone who is considered the odd one out or a misfit in a family or group, often because they behave differently from others or do not conform to the family's expectation or norms. The term comes from the fact that black sheep are rare and stand out from the more common white sheep in a flock. The black sheep in a family might be someone who is seen as rebellious, unconventional, or even troubled. In the context of a black family, if you're referring to race, the term wouldn't change its meaning. It would still describe someone in the family who is considered different or stands out for some reason. This could be due to personality, choices, or behavior. So let's get into the dynamic or the reason that I feel I am the black sheep. I don't Can you deem yourself the black sheep of the family, or is that something that has to I guess it wouldn't really come from everybody else. I don't think that Muggs is like bold enough to be like, "Oh, you the black sheep." I think as the black sheep you kind of like figure that out on your own, like, yeah, I'm different than everybody, like I go for things that other people wouldn't go for, and I don't mean like education or like anything of that. I mean, like, I'm the one who would probably skydive, and I'm the first one in the family to get on an airplane. I feel like there's no limit to the things that I can do in life when it comes to just being spontaneous. And I'm strictly talking about just like spontaneous things. I'm not even talking about like education or any of those things. Just strictly being spontaneous, doing things that's out of the norm and things that like my other family members wouldn't do. And I just want to be clear. I don't feel that like as a black sheep that we do things like to be rebellious on purpose. I just feel like that's just the kind of spirit that we have. Like it's just like, not to say y'all live a boring life to people who are in the family that's not a black sheep, but I mean, like, live a little, spice it up. I want to experience all the experiences that I can experience in this lifetime. I don't want to limit myself to anything. I'm not gonna say that I'm not afraid of anything because there are some things that I am afraid of, like clowns. I'm scared of clowns, but I'll face a clown if I need to. But I mean, like, just like doing things out of the norm. Like, I'm going to leave and move and go to another state. And I feel like a lot of people in the family, they won't do that because they're afraid of the unknown. And I feel like that's what sets the black sheep apart from the rest of the family. Is like, we just don't give a damn. When I think about being the black sheep of the family, I think about childhood and how different I was than my siblings. Like, everybody that knows me know I love animals. Like, I'm the one who would adopt an animal off the street or like take in a stray cat. Um, just a, a little story time. Right now, currently, August 2024, I am feeding what I thought was one groundhog under my porch, but apparently there's more than one. I don't know. It could be a family. I don't care. I'm feeding them. I feed the deer that come in the backyard. Part of the reason, let me just keep it a buck. I've started a garden in my backyard and I really don't want them going back there eating in my garden, but I feel like even outside of having a garden, I would still feed the animals because it's just in me to do. Like, um I know for a fact my siblings wouldn't do that. My mama wouldn't do that. Like, no. Um so I've always known that I was different as a child just coming up. Like, I've always wanted to do things that I've never heard anybody else talk about doing. I've done things that I've never heard of any of them doing. And I just want to be clear, like, none of what I'm saying, none of what I'm putting out here is to say that I'm better, but I'm definitely different. I'm definitely different, especially when it comes to like the thing that stands out to me the most is the animal thing. Like, the whole animal thing, the love that I have for animals is like something that they don't. And then I also think about like being a teenager and just how I knew that being in a small town, Dyersburg, Tennessee, that like I was being like limited on the ability and the things that I can conquer and I can accomplish. So much so that I started getting in trouble, and not even on purpose. It was just, Dyersburg is one of those towns where you, like, if you don't grow up there, and I mean from like birth, if you just move there, like, you are more likely to get into a lot of trouble. So it was nothing for us to do. I feel like now the kids probably have more stuff to do there, just based off of like people that I know that still live there, like my sister and her kids and whatever. But I feel like for me back then, it was like very much racist, very much nothing for us to do. And by us, I mean the black kids. We were limited on where we can go, where we could hang out. There's just the different activities. It was racist, and so much so that like I could remember they could only have two black cheerleaders on the cheerleading squad. And I believe after I moved, that changed because I remember seeing like more than two black cheerleaders. But what was crazy was they would pick the two most light skinned black girls to be on the cheer squad. But I'm getting our way into something else. But so basically, where I was going with this is that I became like super duper rebellious there. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I'm a city girl. I need to be in, and not city girl like Young Miami and JT. Like, I'm from the city. I need to expand. I need to let my wings out. I need to be able to work and go to school and like see different people, and it was just like seeing the same people every day, not having nothing to do. Like I was bored as hell. So I became rebellious. I started fighting. Um I was stealing cars. I was having sex as a teenager. Like I was doing a lot of things that just I feel like I wouldn't have been doing if I was in St. Louis. So long story short, I got back to St. Louis and I started my life did a complete like turnaround. Like my grades were AB honor roll. I had a job. Like, although I did get pregnant in high school, I still graduated with with having a child. I think Lawrence was like 5, 6 months when I graduated. But I said all that to say, like, I, I was like and I don't know if it's because I was the youngest, but like my path of life and the path of my siblings is completely different. And I feel like that was just because like I don't know, it's like I'm this person trapped in this body that's very much limited on the resources and the things and that I could do. So got here and a lot of things changed, and I still, for me, I wanted to like do other things. Like, I want to get on an airplane. I want to, like, this year I did something that I didn't think that I would ever do. Like, for me, I be thinking about stuff I want to do. And then I'll be like, am I going to do it? Because, of course, it's kind of scary, like, especially the unknown, not knowing nobody who's ever done the thing. So I actually took a flight to Atlanta and I rented a car and I stayed in Atlanta for a whole weekend and I went to the restaurants I wanted to go to. I went to all the places that I wanted to go to by myself. And that's just not something that I could see myself doing. Is something I've desired to do because I'm leaving St. Louis. Like it's going to happen. And I know in order for me to get to the point of leaving St. Louis, I have to find us somewhere to move. Like that has to come from me. Like I don't want to depend on like a realtor or nobody to find a good school district for my twins or, the perfect house for me. Like I'm going to be the pick of the perfect house because when I find it, it has to have enough land for me to have a farm and also a garden, a huge garden where I can sell my produce and my all my things that I grow, I can sell them to like farmers markets. And yeah, so that's like one of my goals. This is something that I'm like, that is a huge desire for me to retire and just like help animals and grow food. And so like it's just things like that I know, like, and no shade to my siblings. Like I feel so bad like talking like as I go more and more into this conversation because it almost feels shady, and I promise I'm not being shady, but like I feel like my siblings wouldn't do that. Like they would be content with like being in the city and just living in the city and just being here. And I know for me, and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with staying in the city. Like if that's what you desire, if that's what your heart desires, if that's what what you see fit for you, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I know, and that's why I say I'm different, because for me, like I don't want the city life. I want to be in the country. I want to be walking around barefoot, chasing chickens around. Like that's my desire, and it's going to happen. So ultimately, being the black sheep is often about perception, and it does vary based on the family dynamics. Sometimes the person labeled as the black sheep is simply misunderstood, or their individuality is seen as a threat to the established family norms. I always say, do what makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be doing anything that is going to make another person happy but make you miserable. Now, if it make you happy and make your spouse happy, your kids happy, everybody's happy, great, everybody's happy. But you should never be compromising your happiness to make another person happy. And I feel like as a black sheep, that is just something that we've mastered. It's like, look, I'm going to do what makes me happy. You might not like it. You may not think it's okay. You may see a million things wrong with it. But because I love it and it makes me happy, I'm going to continue to do it. Thank you guys so much for coming and listening to the first part of the Black Sheep. I'm gonna actually make this more than one part. I don't know how many parts it's gonna be just yet. Because there's a lot more I want to put into this episode, but I just wanted to kind of lay the foundation, and just put out there, about the black sheep, and kind of let you sit on that and kind of let it resonate with you. And yeah, we're gonna build on it. But I just want to thank you guys so much for coming back for another episode. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. Thank you to everybody who is subscribed. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube. Thank you for listening when I produce the episode. Thank you for your feedback. Continue to give that. I really, really do appreciate the feedback. The feedback helps me, whether you think it does or not. It helps. So, again, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to record next week's episode and give you part 2 of the Black Sheep. But it's definitely coming. So, what I like to do right now, I got to give y'all a treat. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all for 2 weeks and I ain't give y'all nothing. So, I have to give y'all a treat. So, I'm going to end this episode with a what would Miss Debo do? And yeah, here we go. And dear Miss Debo, I need some guidance because I'm not sure how to handle this. My girlfriend and I were talking, and she brought up that certain content would start popping up on her social media accounts. She showed me what she was talking about, and to be quite blunt, they are thirst traps of shirtless men with bikes, masks. You get the picture. She says she likes the mask part of it all, and etc. etc. And she said that her telling me was her way of being open and honest with me, which I appreciate. I'm left with questions though. Is this respecting the relationship? Is this single behavior? How am I supposed to feel knowing she's looking, liking, interacting with this type of content? I wouldn't say I'm insecure myself, but I can't help but feel really put off by this. Thank you so much for writing in, and asking me for my advice. That's really special to me. I really appreciate you caring enough about what I think and my thought process that you want me to give you advice. So let me just get into it. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, right? So you had a couple of questions within what you wrote in. You asked, is disrespecting your relationship? And I feel like that's only an answer that you have. Do you feel that she's being disrespectful to your relationship? If you feel that she's being disrespectful, then she's being disrespectful. What I feel may be disrespect may not be what you feel is disrespect. So you have to think about what's respectful and what's disrespectful to you yourself. And it sounds like it's disrespectful to you. So my suggestion would be to have a conversation with her, which it sounds like you have had a conversation, and that is how you got to the point where she likes the mask. So my question then would be for her, well, why aren't you just looking at the mask? Why are you looking at the shirtless men? So what is very important and what you have to absolutely positively do is set a boundary. So if you feel like she's being disrespectful, you have to let her know that, and let her know that, it's disrespectful to your relationship. You don't want her doing it. Boom. Right. And then you also ask, is it single behavior? Another question that I feel like only you can answer in this situation, because again, what I feel may be single behavior, you may not feel this. But again, you wrote in and asked these questions. So I do feel like you feel like it's disrespectful, one, and that she's acting single. So you sit down with your girl and you tell her, hey, you're disrespecting our relationship. You're acting like you're single. I need you to stop it. And that's you creating a boundary. Either she can respect it and be like, okay, I'm going to stop, or she can keep doing it and not respect your boundaries. And in that you know what you got to do. You know what I say. Walk away from anything that is disturbing your peace or that is not respecting your boundaries. When a person don't respect your boundaries, they're basically saying fuck you. Excuse my language. But I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for writing in. I hope something I said helped you. And I hope that everything works out in your favor and for the best and the greater good of you. Thank you guys. I'll see y'all next week. See y'all. Maybe I'll talk to y'all next week. And I love y'all. Peace.